Hey everybody, welcome back to Boys Only Club, episode 34. I'm joined by the one and only Raina Scully.
Me.
And I'm Steven Suptic. Today,
I sound like a man. You look like a girl and I sound like a man.
Do I look like a girl?
You look a lot like 11.
Yeah.
A lot. Oh, I mean, I was just watching Stranger Things, so I can't help it.
Did you like season 2 more than season 1?
Not more.
Did you like it less?
Yeah.
As
a little
did
bit
I.
less. A little bit less. I don't think you could ever like something more than the first season and when it was that good and impactful.
Should we just immediately open up with spoilers?
Let's just jump the hell. Well, maybe it's not such a good idea. We will certainly talk about Stranger Things season 2 in a few moments.
We'll put a timestamp on it. Mike will hopefully put a timestamp on it so you can see what to skip to so there are no more spoilers. Sorry, Mike, that I just did that to you.
But should we just do it then? Are we just going to talk about Stranger Things and then you can skip if you want to?
Yeah, you know what? Might as well.
Let's just do it because it was a good segue.
So before you get into like what you liked or disliked about it, do you have a rating out of 10?
Ooh, for the season or for the story overall? For the season.
Yeah, just for the season.
Okay, because like Stranger Things as a story is like really up there. 7.5 out of 10.
That's very reasonable. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to give it.
I want to give it an 8, but like there were too many too many like issues, I guess, to like really bring it up to an 8.
What would you give the first season? I would give the first season an 8.
The first season's an 8. That's what I mean. I want to give it like just that
But
variation.
how do you follow up with another season after the first season, you know? Like after how good it was?
That's true. I thought that the second season was only good because it used a lot of what was left over from the first season. For example, Steve being cool now, right? Like watching him being cool was definitely a setup from season 1. So that's why I liked it.
a lot in this.
I loved him so much. But that's what I mean.
Nance, on the other hand, I feel like a lot of the women characters in this season really got the short end of the stick for development.
I feel like it's not their fault. I feel like it's just the way it had to go. Her acting was way better this season, though. I thought her acting was good. But
the drunk scene, I thought was pretty cringy.
Oh, the bullshit thing?
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's... I don't really get... when I get drunk, I know I'm cringy as a human being, so I feel like maybe everybody's gross when they're drunk, which is, I thought, was believable. Because, like, she shouldn't be attractive or cool or anything saying any of those things, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I thought maybe her being able to be, like, kind of gross and sloppy was working. But as a character, you're right, I didn't really like her that much. She was, like, way too confused. I'm like, oh, my God, like, just deal with it already, really.
So the story of Stranger Things season 2 is that Will... After all that's happened in season 1, he's getting these visions of a terrifying creature in the sky that's basically calls upon impending doom.
Yeah, he's basically flashing in and out of it pretty much the whole time, and it's been more frequent now that the anniversary is about to approach for when it all happened. And the end of season 1 was when he was throwing up in the bathroom, and he threw up like a little baby like Demogorgon piece, and it slivered into the sink. And then, like, he kind of flashed into the upside down. So we kind of knew that he was messed up.
Yeah, something bad was going to happen.
We knew. I thought it was amazing. I keep touching there's a little bit of pee on the table, and I keep touching it and can't help it.
We'll discuss that later.
Yeah, we'll discuss it later. I keep putting it on my arm, too, so I'm completely
nasty.
damaged.
That's nasty.
But I loved how he looked so much younger and meeker than I looked like everybody else aged but him, and I thought that was amazing. How did they make it look like that?
Never even thought about that.
He literally looks younger than all of them. All of them look like they aged a year. He looks like he's stuck.
That could just be puberty.
I know it is, but I mean,
chances are that's what it is.
Perfect though. Like what?
No, it worked
happy
out.
Coincidence, guys.
Yeah, he was a little struggle monster this whole time.
He was such a struggle baby. I felt bad.
So I just want to dive into one of the. Just an editing issue I had real quick.
Go ahead. Yes,
with the choice they made. So, big spoiler. It's not really that big, but
everything's a spoiler.
Clearly something's going wrong with Will. You know that there's a scene where it cuts between him with all these clouds of the main monster and just
sucking him in.
He's sucking them in.
He's sucking them in.
It's all going inside of his mouth and down.
Or every orifice. It was actually kind of gross. Like I watched it.
It was gross. It was very startling. I liked it a lot.
I was like, oh God.
It cut between that. And I keep forgetting his Bob. Talking to Will in the car, giving him this advice for how to
stand up for yourself.
His dreams. Yeah, and then there was a point where I was like, I thought it was a really, really great scene, the combination of both of those things, and it just kept going. Like he went, it's just easy peasy, and then it should have ended on that snap.
Yeah,
the whole episode should have ended on that easy peasy snap, and then it just cut back to, and he just keeps talking, and then like 3 more times.
Yeah,
and it just bothered
me
a lot.
So the whole concept of Bob bothered me the most, actually, because of that scene.
How dare you speak of Bob in a negative light?
I know. Don't worry. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Okay, but here's the thing, though. I thought he was evil, specifically because of that cutscene, the way they cut it back and forth. I thought maybe if he had just said, like, just it's time to stand up for yourself, and it snapped and it ended, I wouldn't have felt differently about it, because there is cinematography, right? Like cinematography speaks or foreshadows for like more of the story. So I felt like that. Until then, I thought he was good. And then because that moment repeated so much while he's suffering, I was thinking like all these kind of aggressive things are being told to him in a car in a happy environment while he's like suffering. So I thought maybe, oh my God, it's signifying that he's bad. He's bad. That's why this scene's going on for so long.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they did. Plus the one scene where Will didn't recognize Bob.
Yeah,
and I was does he have a disguise? I'm sure the writers did that to set up like red herrings.
I know. I was so excited. I thought Bob was going to be bad, and then lo and behold,
I'm glad he wasn't.
I know. Everybody's glad he wasn't, but I really wanted him to be bad.
So we probably shouldn't spoil anything else with Bob and all that, because he really is.
Don't you guys know though? Didn't you binge watch it?
I mean, I guess we did put a spoiler tag in this.
This is like,
were you devastated?
Spoilers. What, when
the thing happened?
No, not really.
Really? God,
I'm mean. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something happened.
I really hope he comes back as an actor in a bunch of different things, because he is a lost treasure.
What,
he's so
Sean
good.
Astin?
Yeah, Sean Astin.
Samwise Gamgee.
God, he's so good.
He is so good. You know what?
I hope it doesn't suck. I was just like, you.
He's such a dad. He's such a good dad.
It's just so tragic what happened. I mean, not just with him, but like his whole situation where he's
Joyce?
with somebody who doesn't really love him.
Yeah,
and doesn't
Joyce,
know how to tell him that.
And there was very clearly zero chemistry, which is another reason why I thought he was bad. But the zero chemistry was actually more on Joyce's part. But she and Hopper are the OTP shit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, it's so hot and cute at the same time. I love them.
Hopper wasn't as badass this season.
I don't care. He needed to be emotional.
That's another thing I didn't particularly care for this season, is a lot of the subtlety. It's not subtlety when Hopper punched that guy in the face in the very first season. Just like, I don't remember exactly what, I think it was a cop he punched or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a fellow cop. It
was someone that he just punched out of the blue, just to ease the story onward. And it was such a brief thing that I enjoyed so much. And then I didn't see that this season.
Well, he has a lot more emotions now, because all of his like dead daughter, Sarah, is that her name?
Is put into 11.
Is put into 11, and 11's alive and stuff, and he's taking care of her. So all of that is, I think he's turning into like a softer human being, which sucks because I don't like soft boys. I want him to be like this like really scary, burly dad, but he's an awesome dad.
I understand that the show plays on cliches.
Yeah.
And a lot of what happens that you're sort of like... it comes from the fact that it's based in, what is it, the 80s?
Yeah.
And
it's
they
amazing,
play on
though.
cliches that would have happened at the time. It makes sense. There was one cliche in the story that I really did not like at all, though.
Ooh.
And I knew it was coming.
What is it?
It's one that James, because I was like, James, you got to watch out for it in this episode. It's episode 4. And he didn't even get it when it came.
That's early.
And I was worried that it was just an issue that I had and nobody else did. I knew it was coming, too. You know when Mike starts spending more time with Max?
Yeah.
I knew 11 was going to see them together.
Yeah, I knew that.
It. And she did, and it just was like a needless plot line that I hated.
All right, let's begin this conversation. Did you like Mad Max?
No.
Me neither.
Because
oh
they
my
didn't.
God.
There was
she didn't do anything.
Eventually, I thought she was going to be. You know,
thought she was going to be one of them. I thought she was tricking the machines.
There were
that's why
so
she
many
could get
red herrings.
I know
in this whole thing.
Oh, but that's why I liked it so much. But like, the fact that she's so good at the video game, like that should have been cooler. The arcade machines, her breaking them, not breaking,
she just
breaking
seemed
the
like
records.
a pointless character, and that's another issue I had.
So much. What's wrong with the brother? Make him more complicated. What the fuck? Why wasn't he more like messed up? If he was going to be messed up at all, make him like extremely messed up.
They had one bit of exposition where they finally showed like why they are the way they are.
Because the dad yells at him because of the dog. Oh my God, my dad yells at me. Oh, okay, I'm sure he beats him, but still, like when I get mad, I break stuff.
Was he gay?
Oh, maybe. Oh, he loves Steve.
I think he was actually gay.
He might have been really into Steve.
I mean, you remember that shower scene where they were together?
Yeah, he turns off the shower. And he also kind of protects Steve, too, in that moment. Because he's all like, you don't have to listen to them. He loves Steve.
Dude, another red herring in that whole thing between him and his sister. I mean, she's good at video games. He's a star at basketball. He's like the athletic god.
Yeah, he's a great
actor.
He loves running around naked. He's the new Power Rangers guy, right?
I don't know. I didn't see Power Rangers. I thought he was going to kill the fuck out of Steve.
I thought he was too, but no, he loves him.
What do you mean loves him?
He's gay for him, I think.
Really?
I don't know. I just thought it was. Well, they made like a joke about it. Steve made a joke about it at one point, but I thought he was actually into him, and that was like his issue because it's like the 80s and you can't be gay.
I really hope Steve finds love.
Oh He needs to find love. Dude, he was the best character ever. Oh.
He was just trying to do what was going to push them all past such a dark,
he was just doing what he thought was right. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have to do is just focus on the current,
and you know
right?
what? Good for him that he's not with Nance, because
good for him.
wasn't good enough for him. They wrote women characters in this season
a little poorly. Yeah. I mean, because what did you think of 11's sister? 8.
Is that actually her sister?
No. Well, I mean,
straight
she
up
was
with you?
the Rainbow Room girl.
I got really bored in that episode, and I skipped most of the way through it.
Okay, good, because you actually don't need that episode.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, I already know what's going to come from this.
Yeah.
It's basically like a karate class. She's going to learn all these special moves.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a special move. It was just one move, which is even lamer, because if it were a karate class, that'd be way doper. But she was not really useful. I didn't like her because she seemingly didn't have the same struggle as 11 did, but they have shared memories, so it's kind of strange, completely unnecessary. A lot of other things could have been happening.
It felt like a filler
Nothing came out of it. It's very much a filler episode.
It felt like a filler episode that they thought they needed to have in order to show that 11 could defeat all the monsters and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry for the intermission. Turns out that I was recording on 4K, which I should never do on that Canon camera until we get it taken to the Canon facility in Costa Mesa, I think.
Why do you have to take it to the Canon facility?
And just very briefly before we get back into Stranger Things, Canon released a new update for their codec that you film in. So 4K is no longer, it's going to be the same one that's on the C200 and other cinema cameras. So it's not going to be 4096 by 2160, which is a horrible crop rate for any camera.
Yeah.
And it's going to go back down to, I think, 38, whatever the normal 4K is. So, and hopefully the codec won't crash everything every time.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
the moment I've been waiting for.
We left off at the 11 episode.
Oh, right. Okay, so the sister episode. I think it is all in that episode, but she goes to find her mom, and her mom's kind of not all there, and she keeps repeating these 4 or 5 words.
So boring.
Okay, well, it's really sad, and it was shot very well, and the music was really good. When you find out what it is that she's repeating over and over again, it's really, really shocking, literally. And it's because they fucking zap her brain, and those are the only memories she can flash remember, so she keeps repeating them over and over.
Were
so
they,
it's really sad.
I skipped a little bit past that too. Was that a code for something?
No.
That eventually ended up helping?
No, it's
Great.
just her memory. I know. You wanted it to be more meaningful. Same, I did too, but it was important to, I guess, 11 and her struggle, which doesn't make any sense because it feels like she didn't really need that struggle beforehand in season 1, but that's before her world opened up. Fine, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
11,
I wanted it to be better.
Despite all the poorly written women characters in this season, 11 is amazing.
11's amazing. She's a very perfect little teenage pre-adolescent girl.
And I can just imagine you remember when she had her hand up when she's eventually getting out of the upside down in the beginning and she pushes through the wall?
In the beginning, yeah.
And she has her hand up and she has the most perfect face, just looking down so ominously at it. And I was just I imagine the crew and all the cast and all them just watching her wow, she's really good.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty good. I'm glad we hired her.
I hope that she develops into an Oscar-winning actress because I feel like that would happen.
Well, even as a little kid, my God, her chemistry with Mike, her chemistry with Finn is his name. Oh my God, that was incredible. It was beautiful. I loved how it played into, that kind of stuff I'm so happy they played into. The red herrings were really obvious in the show, but I thought that was what was good. What else did there's something else I really didn't like other than an entire episode. I forgot.
I didn't like how it turned into, I normally love monster movies and horror. I want Stranger Things to not, and they did this season 1 too, it eventually just develops into a run away from the monster horror story, try to fight the monster things. And I know that that's the point of it. I just see it being so much more for some reason.
I do think that how they fight the monsters at the end of the day is not very clever, right? It's just fire.
It's very straight on.
It's fire or a tiny girl. Those are the only things that can fight the monster. I don't like that. I think maybe the solution should be more clever. Or maybe more people should be at stake and not just these children. Perhaps.
And also, the stakes don't feel that high
anymore. Yeah, they don't feel that. Maybe it's because, I don't know. I never felt like Will was ever going to die. I don't feel like they depicted that well. If they made it seem like Will was going to die in place of whatever, to save the town.
Yeah.
Maybe if they established that better, I would have felt better about it. But never, ever did I think Will was going to die.
And
which
God,
sucks because you kind of should feel that way.
I'm so tired of these lines that are what if it spies on us back? And just we won't let it. And then you just wait.
And then it happens.
For something clever to happen, like in Breaking Bad, where when they say something, then they actually figure out a really fucking clever way to to thwart whatever the issue is. And this one is just like, well, we won't let that happen.
That's exactly it, actually. The lack of cleverness, really, because like they could have done so much. You're totally right about the spy thing. That's so interesting that they could have like tricked it. For example, like Will knows Morse code, so it kind of played into it, right? It was he wrote what, close gate or something in Morse code.
Maybe, yeah. It feels like they put all of their effort into all of their cleverness into the show stylistically, and a lot of the meat of the plot is left on the sideline.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, that's just my opinion. I love the show. I think
enjoyed
it's one of the best shows that is offered today, especially on Netflix.
I had such a good time, and also it was fun that it was happening during Christmas, during Halloween. It felt very much like the environment was happening along with you, so that was fun. But just like you said, I think it's impossible to make season 2 nearly as good, because like look at all the holes we can poke at it just by, I mean, cinematography, A, but also B, just by being like, well, their personalities were this beforehand, so why would they play into this? I don't know. It was nostalgia porn, I think.
Also,
I was into what they played on the first season.
Have you seen Only God Forgives?
No, what's that?
Well, you should check out, it's with Ryan Gosling. It's one of Nicholas Winding Refn's. Is it Winding? I don't know.
What?
He dropped off. It's one of his movies that it came out after Drive. It was pretty bad. I was really looking forward to it.
Oh, it's
they
a
had
bad
amazing
movie.
trailers. And you should definitely watch, I don't remember what trailer it is, but if you type into YouTube, Only God Forgives verse Stranger Things, you might see some inspiration that Stranger Things got from a specific trailer that Only God Forgives did.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the trailer or the story?
Just the trailer.
Interesting.
So the Only God Forgives trailer has blah 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 blah, and it has the same red kind of lettering too.
Oh, that like neon-y kind of.
Dude, can we watch it real quick?
Yeah, we could watch it real quick. Do you want to just watch it on here so we don't fuck anything up?
Absolutely. That sounds like a better idea.
What do I look up? Wonk, 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 wonk,
Just
wonk,
type in
wonk,
Only
wonk,
God
wonk.
Forgives and then Stranger Things, and you'll see it right away. And I want to get your reaction to this, because maybe it's not as maybe it's not that they copied it. Maybe it just is a coincidence. But
Cool.
probably should just be the top one. Yeah, this is it. So this will be kind of interesting. So there's the Stranger Things intro, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. You're getting our live reaction.
Watch this
right
at the
now.
same time as us.
Wait, clap. Sure.
Okay, so then, and get ready. There's the Only God Forgives one. This is the song too from Only God Forgives, or from the trailer. See?
It's close.
I mean, obviously Stranger Things has bigger letters.
Yeah.
And has only an outline on the letters, not as
Oh, wow.
thick as the other
That's
one. but
exactly like it, though.
The songs are very similar, right? And I think these are the songs mixed.
Well, then that makes it harder to kind of differentiate.
But you'll notice that there's a potential for Stranger Things to have borrowed a little bit, which is fine. I borrow all the time. I just thought it was an interesting little note. And
This is pretty like on point, though. It's a little more than borrowing, perhaps.
Well, I was curious because it was something that I thought that it was just me that noticed, so I typed it into YouTube, and it turns out there are like 5,000 other people that typed it in too.
Oh, only 5,000 other people.
It's clearly a thing.
Yeah.
What does Stranger Things have to say about that? I do not know.
I don't know.
Nor will they ever, because who really gives a shit?
I wonder where season 3 is going to take it. I don't like that it still involves this cloud shadow monster.
I wish that
Like, move on.
I don't know. I think it's good that they still have that shadow monster that's in the sky, because that is really the true horror from all of this. Like, that's the one thing that actually has. I'm not afraid of those little bug monster, not bug monsters, but those little rat monsters, demi-dogs that run around on the ground. Like, that's not that big of a deal to me.
It's not.
And you never really felt like that big monster was gonna actually come out, did you?
Well, I never thought that it could hurt anybody except Will. So that, like you said, the stakes weren't that high.
But Will said that it wanted to hurt everybody, not him, which is weird because then it hurt him.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, we never saw it hurting anybody else this time.
I think it wants to hurt everybody else. Only hurts him the entire time.
Only you, dude. But like last season, we at least saw Barbara, innocent as fuck, just get annihilated, right? Like, that's what I mean. There was no. The stakes
that was
were low.
the one scene in Stranger Things season 2. Besides anything with Bob, that really caught my heart, because when they were sitting at that dinner table with Barbara's parents, and they were talking about how they had to mortgage their house or whatever, or move to a different place so they could pay this PI to figure out what went wrong with her daughter's death, when really the PI could never figure that out, and he was just taking advantage of them.
Yeah,
that was so sad.
And Nancy figured it out, and she's like, "We have to do something." But that also kind of plays into what's wrong with Nancy, right? Like,
and her relationship with Steve, which I understand because she was closer to Barb than Steve was, and it's. Steve
so she's more disturbed.
Fully understand that.
Yeah, Steve can't fully understand. He also has been through it, so it's kind of like, okay, we all have to get over it.
And Barb not Barb, Nance totally probably blames herself for Barb's death.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit sad that Jonathan was less than useless this season, except for sleeping with Nancy, which was like, all right, cool, get it over with.
Yeah.
I don't like how useless he was.
I don't think he's that good of an actor.
He's probably not, which is why he wasn't really front and center.
Yeah, I think that it's so strange seeing Stranger Things have these really, really depressing plot lines that are just sort of that take a back seat to all the style in a way. Because inside of these seasons, there are truly great storylines, like Barb's death and how her parents are reacting.
That's already a good arc in and of itself.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it just seems like they put those on the wayside for a monster movie.
I guess. I feel like people would be more upset if it was longer and there was more exposition about it, maybe, because it's like so easy to understand. You don't need like a whole episode talking about it. Kind of like how we don't need a whole episode about fucking Eleven's sister and stuff. At first, before you showed me the trailer, I was thinking Stranger Things is an homage to a lot of different things. Like, it's even an homage to X-Files to a degree, and Alien. It's
sort of like Stranger Things knows, unlike other, Alien Covenant, it didn't know what it wanted to be, and it has a bunch of different movies packed into it. When Stranger Things also has the same thing, but for some reason it just works.
It really worked well. Maybe it's because it's an 80s thing. They knew exactly what to hit about the 80s that were good. I don't know. But I really liked, I forgot his name. He's such a little weirdo. He's in so many weird shows. He was in the show called Love on Netflix. He was the radio doctor, the scruffy guy, the conspiracist guy.
Oh shit! I actually didn't really connect with him.
You didn't connect with him? I mean, you shouldn't, because he's so fast and fleeting. And it was a lot of Nance and Jonathan.
I did really like how the one person that would have believed them didn't right away. I thought that was kind of a cool twist, where he's very skeptical of what they're bringing him when everybody's skeptical of what he brings them. So that was sort of interesting. I don't remember any other character from the show right now that I can talk about. I'm trying to think of other characters that really mattered and
nailed it.
You know who I thought was really interesting? And he was
Doctor.
Yeah. What's his name? Paul Reiser, who was in Aliens.
What?
Yeah, he played Alien or Aliens? Fuck.
Damn.
It was Alien. And then no, it was Aliens, because he was the doctor or the member of Wayland Corp that was there when Sigourney Weaver woke up.
Oh shit.
And he was the bad guy in that.
That's so cool.
He wasn't exactly a bad guy in this, though.
No.
Which I thought was great.
I thought that was amazing. So he is my favorite new character, probably, because he was really hard to understand. And at first you're like, you always think he's bad at first, right? Like he's Will's doctor.
But his explanation to Nance and John, is it Jonathan?
Jonathan, yeah.
Was really great. And
it's really great.
And then they started getting out the tape recorder, and I was like, fuck off. But that's going to be really amazing for season 3, because the whole world knows about this now, right? To some extent?
To some extent, because it still got covered up as the lab has some kind of biochemical leak, and it's not so much that we found another dimension. It wasn't that intense.
It sounds like what's going to happen in season 3 is the whole world is going to know about this, and that's going to be interesting.
I would love that to happen, because worldly implications, especially in deconstructed shows, kind of if this fantastical thing were to happen in real life, how would the world react? I love that stuff, so I'm really down to see. But I feel like that's not the way it's going to go, because even
you think it's going to be more contained?
I think it is going to be more insular. Actually, the way they leaked the tapes and stuff, though, it basically just solidified how Barb died, which is that this lab was supposed to be responsible for it, and that it killed all the crop on the land and it contaminated her, and there was bacteria inside of her that killed her. They never ever made it not sci-fi. They never made it this monster
this
got
paranormal
her.
Thing.
Yeah, paranormal. That's the word. Yeah, totally. They never made it paranormal, which is why I feel like it's still going to be a conspiratory thing that stays within this town, maybe. And obviously, there's something wrong with Hawkins. It's my problem, because I watched It, and like it reminded me of Stranger Things, and now I watch Stranger Things, and Stranger Things reminds me of It. There were so many things happening that reminded me of It, the movie, like when the Demogorgons open their mouth and like their teeth are inside and you can kind of see inside, and it seems like maybe there's going to be 3 shiny dots inside. I don't know. There were too many things.
There
And Finn is also in the same. Yeah.
You know, there was actually, I was trying to think about why Hawkins was the place this all happened. I was like, maybe there's something with the town. And then I was like, no, the lab just broke. That's where they broke into the other dimension.
Yeah, that's just where the lab is. Yeah,
so
this town happens to be there. Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with Stranger Things.
Let's
but
end Stranger Things.
Yeah, so that was the end of our talk about Stranger Things.
It ends now.
Why don't they make a Netflix series that's just a standalone I Am Legend TV show? Why the fuck don't they do that?
Because they tried, not Netflix, but they tried with Fear the Walking Dead, and it's garbage, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if they just base it off of the plot of I Am Legend, maybe they could get... See, that's what I want Will Smith to be doing on Netflix rather than this fucking hokey... is it a Netflix movie? Might not be. This buddy partner crime thing with a monster.
What's that? Wait, he's...
Looks so stupid.
Friends with a monster?
It's the only good part about the monster is that it's played by Joel Edgerton, who is... At least I hope that's who's playing it. Who is an amazing actor, surprisingly an amazing producer and director too. He directed The Gift, and was also in it with with Jason Bateman.
Oh, I love Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about though. The Gift. I mean, it sounds
amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. That was I think his directorial debut.
Oh, beautiful.
Joel Edgerton, and also I watched Ozark recently.
Isn't Ozark bad? We talked about this. Dude, I remember a couple months ago I told you Ozark was bad.
Everybody here, I mean, I knew it was going to be bad. Everybody here loves it.
Why?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Gave it a chance. I didn't really give it a chance, but I just like Jason Bateman. But everyone and their mother told me it was bad and weird.
You know what? When it comes down to it, the show is not bad. It's just many other shows did what they do better, and specifically Breaking Bad. And they can say, I mean, I don't know if it was marketed as like a Breaking Bad sort of, not spinoff, but like a in the same vein as Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Actually, you're the one that also told me it was bad.
Yeah, it's...
Like a long time ago. I remember because I was like, oh, I'm on the fence. I really like Jason Bateman, kind of like what we're doing now. And then you were like, I think it's bad. And then I went to other people and everyone else told me it was bad. I can't believe it, but this office likes it. That's funny.
James and Kib fucking love it.
Interesting.
They love it so much, and I just don't get it because it's not good. I mean, it's good if this came out like years ago.
Breaking Bad.
Pre-Breaking Bad, or, I mean, yeah, pre-Breaking Bad, it would have been good. But it didn't, and it's not.
Interesting.
Which is the only issue.
Well, what am I watching right now that's really good?
We saw Ricky Gervais.
I saw Ricky Gervais live. It was wonderful. Okay, so these past 2 weeks, friends and family from New Jersey have been visiting me. Last week it was our childhood friend. And then this week, Mike's parents came to visit us. So my in-laws and I were hanging out, and it was so much fun. We pounded drinks. It was crazy. Not really. They did. I drank a little bit, and they pounded beverages. I know, it was cool. I liked it. I kind of felt
it's very
like,
cold,
God,
right?
It's like chilly.
Kid did it on the back of my head, and with the baldness, it really made sense.
Before I go into the Ricky Gervais and my in-law story, it's really hard to look at you. You just look so different.
I look like 11, yeah. I mean, I dressed up as Hedwig from Split for Halloween, even though I didn't do anything on Halloween.
Yeah. Why don't you just simply dress up as Xavier then?
Because I don't have a wheelchair. I'd have to borrow it from Kib's roommate.
Wheelchairs are expensive.
I mean, that's the only person with a wheelchair that I know, and I'm not going to go buy one because they're hugely expensive.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let me borrow it.
Can I touch it? How does
Aren't
it feel?
you sick?
No, I'm fine.
That's not true.
Ew.
What is it like?
No, it feels like an animal.
When I was trying to go to bed last night, Alyssa would not stop rubbing it.
Yeah.
She just like kept touching it, and it's like 2 a.m. I'm just like...
It kind of feels like, I get it. It's kind of like petting my cat, but in like a weird area.
And a human.
And a human at the same time.
So it doesn't feel quite right.
You know, I don't like that it's like, I can see the bones in your skull. I can like see them. I can see the sutures.
Do you see me popping all my veins out?
Yeah, I can see that too. I like to... Ew. I have one vein that pops right here when I'm really, really stressed out.
I'm trying to take these hair growth vitamins
you
to
don't
make
need
it grow
to do
faster.
that. You don't need to do that.
Well, it's too late. I'm already downing sugar bear gummies every day.
I love sugar bear hair care. Yeah, they're so good.
I ate the whole bottle.
Wow, that's not good.
To make it grow faster.
Did you shit like a chalk out? Because that's what happens.
Is that
if
really
you-
what happens?
Yeah, if you eat too many of like those types of vitamin gummies, you shit funny.
No, that has not happened yet. But I'll tell you, I'll never
bad.
eat Denny's before bed again.
Oh, Denny's is so bad. Why did you even think that was a good idea?
I have been on a
Just lick your own
on
counters.
an eat before bed binge lately, and
That's
it's a
so
terrible
bad for
thing.
you. Do you like to wake up to an emergency?
I like to not only wake up to an emergency, I like to have carb nightmares.
Oh, carb nightmares are the worst.
And they're terrifying too. I don't remember what I had a nightmare about the other night, but I woke up in a cold sweat, and I just was like, Denny's never again.
Yeah.
And then only diarrhea the next morning.
Only diarrhea.
Constantly.
And it hurts like everywhere, right? It's not just like, oh, abdominal pain. It's like my chest
It's
hurts.
like the kind of diarrhea that when you're done, it doesn't feel done.
It never feels done. It feels like still like hot and bad inside. Like there's still stuff to come out. Ew, that was the most aggressive sneeze.
Oh, whoa. God.
Oh yeah, so Ricky Gervais, so much fun. Wow, he
so
was so
jealous.
phenomenal.
And he was sick, right?
He was sick, just like not me. He is the first professional stand-up comedian I saw live.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of like other people, a lot of like other
I really
random
want
people.
to see Tom Segura.
Tom
Probably my favorite
Segura.
comedian.
That sounds
I mean, obviously
familiar.
the number one right now is Louis C.K., but that's just a go-to for everything.
Yeah.
And I watched before we get back into Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
I watched. You don't know who Louis C.K. is?
No, Segura.
Oh, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
He's just a guy. Him and his wife are both comedians. They're very funny. They have a podcast together. It's really amazing.
Oh, I bet it's amazing.
And I imagine that they have the funniest conversations at home.
Probably.
I watched Louis C.K.'s stand-up special 2017 again because the first time I wasn't floored by it, even though you can tell like he's the master of his craft. He's
Yeah.
probably the best we have to offer right now besides Dave Chappelle, who came back and he did an amazing 2-part special. It was so funny. So
But-
fucking funny.
I remember everybody was saying that Dave Chappelle sounded like dated. That his jokes were not with the times.
Some of them weren't with the times, but some of them just transcended time, and you could really just get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
And they were so fucking funny. Louis C.K.'s special, I wasn't floored by it the first time I watched it. Went back and watched it again, and I was laughing constantly because he did a lot of and this, I mean, it wasn't particularly what I laughed at, but I was surprised because he did jokes that you'd think weren't okay now.
Wait, bring me back to Louis C.K. Which stand-up is it? Because like
It's 2017. It's called.
Okay, it's called
newest one.
2017, where he's wearing a black T-shirt,
No, he's wearing a
a
suit.
suit. I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
because they all kind of blend. Because he kind of talks about the same things in his stand-up, kind of like Aziz Ansari. Like he always talks about like relationships,
His kids.
and like how his friends are doing in their marriage.
The friendly man.
Yeah.
That was so funny. He
But-
did a bunch of impressions of different races in it. And I was just thinking, I was like watching it surprised that he
was-
of all people, I mean, not he of all people could get away with it, but that he was able to do it in such a way where he could get away with it.
Is this the one where he says the N-word like 14 times?
No, I think that was in the past.
Oh,
he might have
okay.
said it in this one. I don't remember. I was at like the 40-minute mark.
He's
and
the
I
only
fell
white
asleep.
guy in the world.
I know.
Only
Because he
white guy
does
in
it in
the
such a
world.
clever way that
He's
makes
too
sense.
clever, yeah. You can't argue it. And also, like, very much so, he's obviously, this is what he's made for, right? Like, comedian.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you have to have that veil of comedy. Actually, Ricky Gervais's stand-up was a lot like that, about how you can't joke about anything anymore. And I think it was his first stand-up tour in a while. So he's like, I've been out of this stand-up scene for a bit, and he's like, I had to study back into it. But he's like, the current is like messy right now. I'm like, you're kind of afraid to say stuff, but fuck it, I'm gonna say everything. He made dead baby jokes for about 17 minutes.
Oh, that's totally fine. I feel like you can make dead baby jokes. That's not,
I think, yeah. It was done so well, though. He made a lot of handicap jokes. They were wonderful. I don't know. He's also one of them. I think he and Louis C.K. have the same thing going on where they can joke about anything, and it's not offensive at
I wonder if
all.
there's something they couldn't joke about.
I really don't think there is. He was so good.
I really appreciated when Ricky Gervais met Michael Scott on The Office in the elevator, and they had like a little back and forth where they were both like the same goofy individuals, and they also brought up how like, yeah, you can't joke about anything anymore, and that was
funny.
years ago when The Office was still airing.
Yeah, it's full
many years
circle.
ago.
Yeah, full circle
was
came back
amazing.
around. Yeah, it was very impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching that good of a stand-up show in like the Dolby Theater was incredible.
The Dolby Theater, wow.
Yeah.
I've never been to the Dolby Theater.
It was very fancy, but you know what though? Kind of like you've been in front of the Chinese theater though, right?
Have you ever been in the Chinese theater?
No, not in.
How do you get in? Do they just play movies and you can go and see?
I don't know actually. I don't think so. I think it has to be like a
You have to be
special
invite
event.
only?
Yeah,
like
I think
the Magic
so.
Place?
Probably.
You ever been to the Magic Castle?
No,
Whatever that's called? I want to be there.
You do.
I hate
Of course
magic,
you want.
but I want to go there just
of
because
course
it's
you
exclusive.
do. Dude, I hear it's like really creepy. I hear it's like extremely bizarre and like Have you seen Love, the Netflix show?
No, I watched the first episode and I couldn't get into it because I hate millennial love.
Oh yeah, it's very Silver Lake. It's like 100% about Silver Lake.
And I've when I was driving by the gas station that they actually filmed at for some of it,
yeah.
I was just like, ah. Yeah, exactly.
I had to drop it because it was such like unbelievable millennial scenarios. Like I can't think that way, so I can't. It's not relatable to me.
And also, just like how Ozark is to Breaking Bad, Love is to Master of None.
Oh, so good. That was a good one. That was a good analogy.
You really mean it?
Yeah, I do actually. No, really,
Master
it's
of
missing.
None kills that shit. They kill millennial.
Fucking kills it, and it's intellectual.
Season 2 specifically, where they don't romanticize what the idea of a relationship is, and he just sits in a taxi for 5 minutes after getting basically declined.
Yeah.
It's so depressing.
But it's so real and it's so good and it plays it well. It plays into the right stuff. It plays into the right emotions. Love was. It's to LA. Like I hate to say it, but like it's a caricature of everything. It's a microcosm of like everybody's real issues, and it's really hard to want to watch it after a while because you just want to punch the main characters.
I feel like I just hate things now. You know, I feel like I just hate shows. I don't know. There's not a show. And then I also watched 1922 with Thomas Jane that I was really looking forward to on Netflix. It's a Netflix original movie where, and I won't spoil it. I promise. I just didn't. I was so excited for it because it was this caricature of this shitty Hoboken rural family in 1922 who was on a farmland, and him and his wife.
They can't be on a farmland if they're in Hoboken.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say Hoboken. Oh, they're on the fuck.
Are they just in the middle of nowhere?
They're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Oh, never mind. That sucks.
They have marital issues, and they have a kid. And it develops into this whole thing that I thought was going to be really interesting with twists. But it's just sad what happens. It's just fucking brutal and sad.
Yeah.
And I'm watching and I'm like, I feel gross watching this.
Interesting.
At a certain point. And then it didn't get better. I
don't like shows that are predictable. I don't like predictable, which is so funny because that's exactly what Mike's mom said the other day. But if I can see where the show's going and it doesn't surprise me more with the better outcome, I feel like it really failed me as a show, and I'll literally instantly never watch it or pick it up again. But no, you said it was unpredictable, but in a bad way, right? Like it just kind of ended up, all the things that you made up in your head.
Yeah, it was exactly unpredictable in a bad way because you know something's going to happen.
But then the cool good thing doesn't happen?
No, it's not that a cool good thing doesn't happen. It's just that the bad thing doesn't have any reason to it. I mean, it does. Oh. They explain why they do it, but it doesn't really connect, I don't think, with me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it connects with other people. It just, I felt sort of like how I felt watching Mother.
Oh, no.
Where you're just watching it
there
like,
she
this
is
is
again.
Fucking mean. And it makes you feel bad, and it doesn't feel like there's any reason to it.
Damn, I have to watch it. I really don't want to, though, because I'm probably just not going to understand it.
All I wanted was for Darren Aronofsky to come out before 1922 started and explain the movie like he did with his own, because he had to, because it was...
How fucking stupid and funny.
If you have to come out and explain your movie before it plays, then you've done a bad job.
That's like explaining your joke. You can't do that. What else did I do? Ooh, I ate delicious steak. Because Mike's parents were here. Well, I ate some at Houston's. No, what's that?
Beverly Hills, Wolfgang Puck's Cut. When I actually used to have money, I went there once. And
was it delicious?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't as good as... I like Ruth's Chris more, to be honest. Ew. Dude, I fucking love the petit filet at Ruth's Chris. I don't care how expensive a steak is. A Wagyu beef just imported from Japan.
Wagyu,
yeah, who gives a fuck? It's not as good as Ruth's Chris. Nothing as the petit filet is... Ruth's Chris, sponsor me, please.
I know, seriously, why not? I had a filet and a ribeye, and oh my God, the filet was like... It was soft. I don't know. It was incredible. I loved it.
Fillets are amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. I love the Hawaiian ribeye. I had it at Houston's. I used to work at Houston's, so I know the whole menu. But their ribeye is so good because it's like pineapple flavored and it's incredible and it's giant. I think it was like 30 ounces or something. I ate the whole thing.
You ate a 30-ounce steak?
Maybe it wasn't 30 ounces. Maybe that's impossible.
I can't even eat like a 10-ounce steak.
How? It was big. Okay, here. This is what it looked like.
Probably like 12 ounces, I imagine.
Are you sure?
A 30-ounce steak sounds like
how
ridiculous.
Big is it? How big is 30 ounces? I don't really know. What is it? Is it like the size of my torso?
I'm not sure exactly. I know that they gave me I'm gonna look it up. Petit filet was 8 ounces, and that's like, I don't know, smaller. It's like about there, but it's thick though. Like super thick.
Fillets are thick. Yeah.
So maybe it was like 12 to 15. I don't know. Maybe ounces of steaks are not the most interesting thing.
No, it's very interesting. Oh shit. okay.
How big is a 30-ounce steak?
As big as my steak was last night.
Okay, so maybe it really was 30 ounces. Jeez,
Oh
and you
my
ate the whole
God.
thing?
I ate the whole thing. And
How do you feel today?
I'm fine.
That's impressive, honestly.
I don't know what's going on.
How'd you
I'm
eat a 30-ounce steak?
I don't know.
Are you eating for two?
No. I
You
got
sure?
I got a little high beforehand.
Okay, that makes
But
sense
like,
then.
damn, I ate the whole thing.
When are you going to be pregnant finally?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think I should have kids.
Not if you eat steaks like that.
Not if I eat steaks like that and do drugs in order
How
to
would you
eat
stop
steaks.
doing drugs if you had a... Would you...
Oh, I'd immediately
You'd have
stop doing
to.
drugs. Yeah, I immediately stop. First of all, I'm afraid that my kid is going to be retarded.
I am too.
So yeah, so I
For you.
would, yeah, of course, with my advanced
you have to get
age.
tests.
Yeah, in my advanced age, you know.
Yeah.
So I would never put.
My parents had me when they were like 40, and look how I turned out.
Oh shit, maybe. Oh no, I really don't want kids. I would never like smoke or drink. I don't drink that much anyway, but like, yeah, I would stop it immediately.
Have to stop like miles beforehand?
That's what
before
I was
you have-
thinking. Yeah, I would plan it. Like, I'd sit Mike down and be like, look, you got to dump one in me, and we got to pop one out together.
God,
soon.
I haven't heard that term since we worked on Super Panic Frenzy, and it's just the same as bad as it was then.
We got to pop one out together. And then it would be like, all right, we got to detox for like
get a surrogate.
couple months. I don't know. Wait, what does that mean? As in, like, you take my eggs and his little tails and then you shove them into somebody else? Or that we use somebody else's stuff and put it into
I'll be honest,
myself?
I think it's your DNA, but the other person is
So my
hatching your
egg.
baby.
Okay, so it's my eggs and his sperm inside of someone else's womb,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that might be the way we have to go, but that feels wrong. I want to be connected with my baby.
Yeah. And
I don't really give a shit. I don't give two fucks. Maybe we'll adopt. I don't know. I don't want to add to the
Really? That'd be
population.
cool.
But if it's shit, you see, I'm a
you
bad
gotta
person.
get them young.
You got to get them young. And also, I'm a crappy person, so I do feel like if I'm ever having like a parental like fight with the kid, I'm literally going to be like, you're not even my kid. What if I say that? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's going to fuck them up
That's
forever.
going to fuck them up forever. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I want that. I think I should be... I'm horrible. I know that about me. I feel like if I fight with my kid, I'm going to say shit like that. So maybe I should be responsible for it from birth. You know, that's its point. That's why I can't say shit like that to a kid. Ruin them.
Cutting out all of the bad things you can say. I'm sure you'll find a way to make it just as bad.
Of course I will. I'll be
Or
like,
like,
yeah,
I don't want you to be my kid.
I never wanted you to be born.
Yeah,
Could have
right.
been happy with Mike, but no, you got to come out of me.
We planned it out, but we shouldn't have.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. You ruined this. I would never push it out. I'd C-section that shit right out.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
That's probably the best. I was a C-section kid.
Yeah.
And look how I turned out.
Perfect. Your head is so round.
You know,
Did you know that's what that is? Because you're a C-section kid. That's why your head is so perfectly round.
Really?
Yeah, because otherwise you have to get pushed out, and you're all soft and cartilagey, so your like head is ovular.
That's probably why. Yeah, I'm not narrow.
You're not
I wish
narrow.
I was.
You're perfectly circular. That's because you're a
sucks. I have
C-section
the
baby.
smallest head too. I don't
Yeah.
understand why my head is so small compared to my body.
C-section babies have tiny heads.
Really?
Yeah. They have
Man.
tiny, perfectly round heads.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Why?
I want a bigger head so I can be a better on-camera person.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. It went elsewhere. You know, it's all
Hold on.
distributed
I'll be
perfectly
right
out
back.
there.
All right, I think you might not be onto something because
Why?
James was a C-section kid also. Massive head.
But is it round and perfect?
It is. It's very round.
Dude, I'm telling you. Well, maybe it's not the small, tiny thing, but the round and perfect thing is definitely a C-section thing. Because think about it. You have to get pushed through a tiny fucking pussy. Like, no.
I mean, is there actually any science to that, or is this just a joke?
I feel like it's an old wives' tale.
Fucking perfect. Wow, I gained a lot of knowledge there.
You know what? If we look it up and it's true, what if it's true?
I'd be impressed. I'd be more than
I'm
impressed.
telling you, it's a little bit true. That you
Okay,
have,
we'll
like-
look it up after this.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
going
look
to
it
check
up.
and see if the camera stopped.
Please do. I thought that's what you were doing before.
Let's cut to a mid-row.
Correct. I used to care about wanting kids, but now I don't. I don't know what
You
happened.
cared for a while. I thought you were going to have a kid. When we were working on Super Panic Frenzy, you were like all about having kids. You were
I don't
about
know
getting
what-
one dumped in you.
I don't know what happened. I don't really care that much anymore. I think it's because maybe I want money, and I know babies just take them
Dude, I
away.
tell you, I would want money right now. The amount of credit card debt I'm in, holy shit.
Can't even.
The woods fucked me. I had to
bet
pay
it
everybody
did.
for overtime.
But it's okay. You're gonna get paid out soon. So
Won't even matter.
Oh no, really?
Won't even matter. Barely will make a dent, I imagine.
No, you're kidding.
Barely kidding. It'll make a dent. But I'm like, man.
It couldn't have cost more to make than its output.
I wish that I
Cost
could.
more to make.
Yeah, I wish that I could put all of this stress put it into other people
To kill them
to kill them
and give them
Exactly.
cancer.
Ideally,
Yeah.
I feel like sort of like the president right now, and I feel like in 4 years I'm gonna be just a gray-haired oaf.
You might have a lot of gray hairs. Well, I mean, you can't worry about too much right now, though, right? Like, you just have to kind of wait till the money comes in, and then you could parse it out. There's nothing you can do right now.
The good news is, as long as you make your minimum payments on credit cards, collections won't come after you.
They won't come after you.
Dude, I figured this out. You can actually pay for a credit card with another credit card.
You didn't know that?
I actually just was kidding. Can you?
You can, but it's not a good idea.
Why isn't it a good idea?
Because then you're going to rack up hard debts on your second one that you're paying everything off for. A lot of people do that, where they pay their current, like they pay something with a bank card that has credit in it, but they'll do it through credit only, which makes sense because then you could pay it back and that's not so bad. But yeah.
You know what's really interesting?
Yeah.
When all your cards get full, you start getting these emails that you had no idea you were signed up for shit, that they're like, your payment failed. And I was like, well, good. I didn't want to pay for that anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I have a lot of shit I signed up for by accident, I think. I was paying for like 3 extra Premiere Adobe packages or something because I had like 19 different computers at one point. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like $20 every single month across like 4 computers.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm so stupid. And I thought I switched them all over to like a business account, like when I was at Crunchyroll or when I was at Discovery. Nope, all on mine.
You know,
all
what would really help if
personal
we could get sponsors for this fucking show.
Yeah, it would be very helpful.
Well, you know what you can do? We still have merch available right now, right?
We do have merch available. So we still have the hats. That's the only thing we have available right now. But get your butts ready. We have holiday merch in the works. It's not holiday themed necessarily, but it'll be available in the holiday store.
But in the meantime, if you still haven't gotten a gray hat, those are available on the Rooster Teeth store, link in the description.
Yes.
And profits from that go to
us.
Helping us and me specifically break out of the Woods debt.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing. Because,
man.
Man, I wish that I'm sort of thankful that we had that chance, or that James had that chance concert to go to, because if we worked any more days, my God.
You would have had to pay people even more than that.
It's insane how much people get paid.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's just insane. It's like I'm basically paying for a really good used car.
Yeah.
Or like a new good car.
You're paying for a new Honda Civic.
Oh, no.
More?
Oh, God, yeah.
Holy shit, really?
I'm paying for like a new Lexus. What? Yeah.
That's bad.
It's miserable, yeah.
Okay, I see. That is pretty shitty. All right, please pay us. Please send us money. It's time to send us money.
So do you think that that wraps up the show?
Already?
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about the Jennifer Lawrence thing.
Oh, the Jennifer Lawrence thing?
Which is so funny. We need to answer this before we get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. So actually, that's important. Yeah. Well, it's not that important.
It's not important. It's just funny.
Jennifer Lawrence was a replacement for Jimmy Kimmel on a show a night recently. And at first I was like, man, I thought I'd seen enough of Jennifer Lawrence. I thought everybody was tired of her by now. Completely proved me wrong.
Turns out she's freaking hilarious.
How much of it did you watch?
I watched a solid 8 minutes of it.
She's so funny.
She's so funny. And she's clever. And she actually, do you know she's playing Jimmy Kimmel? Like,
really?
Yeah, like her attitude and the way she cuts Kim Kardashian off, like she talks like Jimmy Kimmel.
I think she's
doing it.
She's a real talent. It's so funny to watch her talk with anybody. She's just like, she's the closest to a real human being, I think, in Hollywood that you can get to.
Yeah, she's also, seemingly very intelligent. So
yeah, and honestly, Kim was a great guest.
I loved watching Kim Kardashian, her talk. They talked about this like dinner party that they went to at her house and how they all got drunk and crazy, and it was like the drunkest she's ever seen her mom. So cute.
Jennifer Lawrence asked her like, who's your craziest ex? We're on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then she said, Jennifer Lawrence said a name, and Kim Kardashian just said, she was like 1, 2, 3. And didn't say anything. And I loved her play around like certain questions that she wasn't willing to answer.
Yeah, yeah.
She did it in a way that was not like
obnoxious.
Yeah,
totally.
It was great.
I thought it was cute. Like I thought it almost seems like they were friends.
Yeah,
I very much
guess
enjoyed
they
it.
were.
I guess
they spent time together
to a degree, I guess, but like, they had good chemistry.
And I love all
really
the questions that she asked about Kanye.
Oh, so good. I didn't understand the whole like when Kanye bumped me when I was like pulling my bra from under my shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand that. I was like, what is she talking about?
Oh, no, they were just at a thing together.
They were just at a thing. Oh, and it was just like an uncomfortable moment.
Like, go say hi, and then he was like.
That's so fucking funny. Kim Kardashian is so tiny. She's so short and tiny with that like crazy body. I didn't understand. Jennifer Lawrence looked like a fucking tall ass monster next to her.
How small is Kim Kardashian?
Probably like my height, but with, a body.
What? That's so weird because I imagine meeting Kim Kardashian, she's like taller than me for some reason.
Right, I know. I always felt that way too, but she's like real, real small. I heard. So they played a fun game where they didn't even answer. They were like, who would you rather sleep with in order to save the world? Donald Trump or Kim Jong-un?
Which is tough.
They didn't answer. What's your answer?
I feel like...
To save the world.
Okay, I can give you an easy answer to that. I feel like Kim Jong-un would be more bubbly and smooth.
Oh, yeah. He probably doesn't have any hair down there.
I feel like he's younger than Donald Trump and isn't as... I mean, he's probably hairy, but he isn't probably as, like...
No, man. Asians aren't that hairy. He's probably smooth down there.
He's probably smooth.
Yeah, which is creepy.
Waxed.
Yeah, probably gets waxed.
And I imagine, like, holding his glove handles or whatever they're called.
Glove handle.
Glove handles. They're probably, like, you know, not wrinkly.
He's really squishy. You know, like he probably feels like a soft manatee, right?
Exactly.
Probably something
and I
like
think
that.
that's probably one of the main reasons I'd have to side with Kim Jong-un to have sex with him.
Okay.
To save the world.
Let's see. I wouldn't mind Kim Jong-un because I wouldn't understand what he's saying, which is a plus.
And also, it's far different for you, I think, because
Probably. Also, like, I mean, would you feel? Did it clip?
No.
Clip?
That's
Okay.
just the air conditioner.
No, are you sure? Okay.
I'll check.
Just in case. Oh, okay, cool. I feel like maybe it wouldn't have too much of an impact. You know, like maybe it wouldn't.
Are you saying that he has a small penis?
Maybe. I don't
So
imagine
Donald
it
Trump
being.
doesn't?
I'm sure. Well, I can't tell.
Who would come quicker?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good question.
I mean, maybe Trump. Maybe he has like a kink for like Asians. Maybe. I don't know. Does he? Probably not. No, he likes Russian women. Yeah, I don't know.
Clever.
Maybe Kim. Maybe Kim would come quicker. Wow, that's hard to say. Say it.
Kim would come quicker.
Never mind. I guess it's not that hard.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, me too. But why not Trump for you?
Old, wrinkly.
Oh, I see. I feel like his dick is probably multicolored.
Oh, do I have to be fucked by Donald Trump?
Oh, I thought it was fucked by.
Oh.
Oh, it's not the you. Oh, it is different for you, isn't it? Yeah.
I thought you had to have sex with him. I mean, I guess.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, if they had to put it in my butt, it would I would, you know.
Why would they put in your...
Well, because it's different for you, so I figured I'd even the playing field.
Oh, right.
Because I'm not putting it in them.
No, that's thoughtful.
Maybe, yeah, in the butt. Still Kim.
Still Kim.
I'm feeling Kim, yeah.
He seems like he would be more easygoing.
More easygoing, or maybe he like kind of doesn't know what he's doing. So he's like, it's like less rapey.
I feel like despite his terrible regime and all the terrible things he's done,
Yeah.
in the bedroom he's probably a lot more civil in a way.
Yeah, like you can't be all that crazy outside and inside,
Yeah,
right?
because Donald Trump, I mean...
Oh, he is crazy outside and inside.
He's crazy
Never
outside,
mind.
but not Kim Jong-un crazy.
Maybe
which
not.
maybe makes
know,
his
maybe-
bedroom play a little bit more severe.
Maybe more severe. I'm a little bit, I feel like he's going to hit me.
Although, then you start thinking about Kim Jong-un and probably weird sex shit he's done because he can do without getting caught, or he ties people up and does weird bad things to them.
Probably. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Maybe
So
it is
Donald
way
Trump's will probably
scarier.
feel more like just like rape.
It'll
you
feel
know?
like, yeah.
And then Kim Jong-un's version of it could be violent, which
Could be
also is something to
and
think
messed up. Like you don't know what they do out there.
Truly.
You don't know what's conventional.
Okay, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheers. Very good.
Thank you for watching episode 34, 35.
34.
Sure, of the Boys Only Club podcast. I kind of enjoy. I'm a little bit afraid of our last conversation, but it's all okay, right?
I mean, who does it bother? Donald Trump or Kim Jong-un? Fuck it.
There we go.